Good evening. A critical week for the miners' strike.
Morning, Mrs. Thatcher.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Hello, Alison.
Hello. In the event of a nuclear war, where will you be?
Let's kick out the Tories, the rulers of this land, for they are the enemies of the British working man.
There is, it seems to me, a tradition of a tradition of progressive resistance.
From top step down to the crumbling road, evil will triumph.
People who was born in a very fortunate time when my parents' generation and my grandparents' generation fought very hard for a welfare state in my country in which the rights of the individual were underpinned by the collective provision of free healthcare, free education, decent affordable housing, proper pensions. Nobody ever changed that until Margaret Thatcher came along. And she decided that it would be better to have to pay less taxes. So she began to take apart the welfare state and that provision, and the government owned the coal mines. And although there was plenty of coal under our country, she began to close them down. So they went on strike, and really the strike became a defence of that welfare state, of those ideals of collective responsibility and collective provision. And as a singer-songwriter who'd grown up listening to Bob Dylan and Woody Guthrie and the Clash, it seemed to me that my place was to be, there on the picket line playing songs.
My job is fundraising. I normally go up to Corby Miner Support Group, and Billy himself come and did a gig down in Corby for us and raised us X amount of money, and in return I should like to have the pleasure of presenting him with this lamp.
It was interesting because it was a bit of an education for me, because I didn't go to college, so I didn't know a huge amount about socialism. So it was a very steep learning curve. They wanted to know why this pop singer from London had come up to the coalfields, sitting up late at night on sofas with people, drinking cups of tea, smoking cigarettes, talking about politics.
Working men are once more in the front line in the struggle against a government that doesn't seem to care and doesn't want to care. For 1985, there's only one real question in people's minds as far as I'm concerned, and one decision to be made. Which side are you on?
The fact that so many people voted, young people voted first-time Conservative than Labour, I think is more than a crime, And if Labour can get the youth vote by latching onto bands like the Redskins, if they're prepared to.
Fuck the Labour Party. If they're going to organise anything, they're not organising to change society. The one thing they will never organise to do is to change society. They're not in the business of that. They're in the business of organising to win MPs, organising to pass resolution, organising to get good press in The Guardian.
If you're going to organise workers to bloody help the Labour Party do things better, you might as well fucking organise workers to really change society.
It's like the old thing about, don't ask what Parliament can do for you, do it yourselves, because we can do it.
Basically get off their asses and fight and question a few of the things that are going on, not to believe what's going on in the papers, and to recognise the lies that are being force-fed them every day. Hope so. Should hope so, yeah.
On tambourine, on additional percussion, and on strike for 35 weeks at Durham Miner.
Although it doesn't burn as brightly as it did, I think it still has the ability to inspire, and I mean, beyond the M5, right across the country. And the embers of that, rather than looking back and being nostalgic, I hope we might be able to blow on those embers perhaps, that another generation might see that they're not the first person to deal with these economic times that we find ourselves in, and that there are ways of dealing it other than relying on government or falling back on a cult of individualism that's kind of got us in this problem in the first place. That collective spirit
that makes people still put on you.
And so, yeah, I can tell you that the great inspiration in my politics was Margaret Thatcher. Were it not for her, I probably wouldn't be a socialist.